Good morning. Today, continuing the same topic, that is research methodology and techniques, I am going to focus the quantitative research. We have already learned that research may be qualitative or quantitative or mixed with both the qualitative and the quantitative features. Quantitative research is a specific type of research which aims at collecting and gathering the quantifying data. And obviously, it is contrary to the qualitative research. However, in social sciences, particularly in sociology, qualitative research is more popular than quantitative research because the social scientist aims at understanding the complexity of the behavior of the members of the groups that he intends to study. However, it cannot be said that quantitative research is not important. It is equally important. If not for social sciences, for other sciences, it is important. Its importance in social sciences is also accepted and approved. So its importance and significance cannot be denied. Let us have a look. Let us develop an understanding about some of the aspects of quantitative research. Quantitative research is the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data. The first thing to be kept, to be borne in mind, is that the data that are collected in quantitative research is numerical. Numerical data are collected. Then, quantitative research can be used to find patterns and averages. It is used or it can be used to make predictions. It can be used to test causal relationships. It too can be used to generalize results to wider populations. So, obviously, in this type of research, sample in appropriate size is selected, it's studied, and the results made on that selected sample are applied to the wider population. Quantitative research is the opposite of qualitative research. As I have already shared with you, it is opposite, it is contrary to the qualitative research because the qualitative research involves collecting and analyzing non numerical data, while the quantitative research involves collecting and analyzing the numerical data. So, this is the basic difference between the qualitative research and the quantitative research. Quantitative research is widely used in the natural and social sciences, biology, chemistry, psychology, economics, sociology, marketing. In all these fields, at this time, quantitative research is used. It is growing more and more popular in addition to the qualitative research, especially about sociology or social studies. Both qualitative and quantitative research are important. So, generally, it is found that both the types of research, both the methods of research, qualitative research and quantitative research, are studied or are adopted together. As far as the definition of quantitative research is concerned, quantitative research may be defined as a systematic investigation of gathering, quantifying quantifiable data, and performing statistical, mathematical, or computational techniques. So it is a specific type of investigation, and in it, statistical, mathematical, computational techniques are adopted for the collection of quantifiable data and for the analysis of the data. Quantitative research collects information from existing and potential customers. Customers here means people, units, using sampling methods and sending out online surveys, online polls, questionnaires, etc., the results of which can be depicted in the form of numerical. So, this is the main thing, that sampling methods are adopted, studies on samples are made, results are drawn on the selected samples, and then those results are applied to the whole population. And the most important thing about the quantitative research is that the data that are collected, that are gathered, are numerical. After careful understanding of these numbers to predict the future of product or service and make changes accordingly. Now we can use quantitative research methods for particular types of research. So generally we use quantitative research methods for descriptive, correlational, or experimental research. In descriptive research, the researcher simply seeks an overall summary of study variables. So first, let us be clear about the descriptive research, that in descriptive research also quantitative research methods can be used. And in descriptive research, what happens? The researcher seeks an overall summary of study variables, and for it, he goes for quantitative research methods. Secondly, in correlational research, the researcher investigates relationship between study variables. As far as the correlational research is concerned, as the name suggests, correlation is found out between variables. So relationship between study variables are found out. Quantitative research methods are also used, or say are especially used in experimental studies. In experimental studies, the researcher systematically examines whether there is a cause and effect relationship between variables or not. Correlational and experimental studies can both be used to formally test hypotheses. So this is a special feature of quantitative research, that hypothesis is tested through it, or predictions are made using statistics or using statistical tools. In these two types of research, the results can be generalized to broader population based on the sampling method used. Now let us know the key features, special or salient characteristics and features of quantitative research. First feature that I am going to share with you, or that I am going to make you familiar with, is the structure tools. In quantitative research, the tools that are adopted for the purpose of collecting data are all structured. Not They are not non-structured. Structured tools such as surveys, polls, questionnaires are used to gather quantitative data, and the surveys that are conducted, polls that are conducted, questionnaires that are sent or that are developed for the purpose are all structured. They are not non-structured. Using such structured methods obviously helps the researcher in collecting in-depth and actionable data from the survey respondents. So, structured tools is the first key feature, and second is sample size. First, let us be clear about sample. Sample means selection of the representative units from the whole. Study of the selected sample. Drawing results on the samples, and then application of the results made on the selected sample to the whole population. This is sample. And now, sample or say sample size plays a very vital role in quantitative research. Quantitative research is conducted on a significant sample size that represents the target group. Sample size should not be inadequate. Sample size should not be too little. It should be quite significant. It should be of such a size that can represent the target group to be studied. Appropriate sampling methods have to be used when deriving the sample to fortify the research objective. So it is expected on the part of the researchers that if they are going for the sampling for the purpose of the study, they should have or they should select appropriate sampling methods. Because if the sample size is not significant, if it fails to represent the whole, then it has no meaning. It is all senseless. So while selecting the sample or sample size, obviously the researcher needs to be very careful. Then the next key feature of quantitative research is closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questions are created as per the objective of the research. These questions obviously help collect quantitative data, and hence these questions are extensively used in quantitative research. So, closed questions in quantitative research are really very important. Then, the next key feature of quantitative research is prior studies. As we know, various factors related to the research topic need to be studied before going for research, before going for the study of a problem. Various factors, or I should say that all the factors related to that problem should be studied beforehand. As far as quantitative research is concerned, in this research methodology, various factors relating to the research topic, relating to the problem to be studied, are studied. And it is only after making prior studies that the data are collected. So, various factors related to the research topic are studied before collecting feedback from respondents. Then the data, the next very specific, very important, relevant feature of quantitative research is that the data that are collected in quantitative research are all quantitative. Usually, quantitative data is represented by tables, charts, graphs, or any other non numerical form. So, representation of data, numerical data, is made through tables, graphs, charts, etc. But the thing that is counted here is that the data that are collected in quantitative research are all numerical. This makes it easy to understand the data that has been collected as well as prove the validity of the research. And finally, uh, the next, last but not least, key feature of quantitative research is the generalization of results. Results of quantitative research method can be generalized to an entire population to take appropriate actions for the improvement. So, it is all about the understanding about quantitative research. First thing that we should keep in our mind is that quantitative research and qualitative research are two different things, are two different types of researches, and in quantitative research, the data that are collected are numerical, and this research is particularly used and conducted to test the hypothesis. Obviously, it is useful to all the subjects, to all the problems relating to all the disciplines and subjects. But here I would like to make a comment about it that it is very important, very valuable for the social sciences, for the social studies, for the sociological studies. So, I hope that you must have understood, you must have developed an understanding about the quantitative research. Thank you.